Hey folks, Randy here with Doing Cut and Trim. So I applied for my first, is that the word? Put a bid in on my first HOA in the history of Doing Cut and Trim. I had purposely not really looked into HOAs. I felt like I wasn't necessarily equipped for it. And if I got an HOA that had a whole lot of homes, that was going to make up a pretty significant portion of my revenue, and I don't like being locked. I don't like any one person having any serious amount of influence on my bottom line. And so I'd kind of shied away from it. Not that I wouldn't do it, I just didn't want to, just wasn't actively seeking it. So I cut a couple lawns in a particular HOA, and I guess that HOA was unhappy with the company they were using, and so the customers that I service, they reached out to the HOA and were like, hey, we love our guy, you guys should get a quote from him. And so they did, and I knew the neighborhood was pretty small, so I was like, yeah, if I was gonna take an HOA, it would be this one. So I went out, and honestly, it wasn't a lot. It was mostly just like they had a very few common areas, like not many. Like honestly, it was probably less than an acre total. There's not a lot going on there. And then there was like some mulch beds, like mulching around trees that needed to be done twice a year, and just some little stuff, like nothing major. And so I said, yeah, sure, you know, I'll give a quote. And so I did. I quoted them. I don't remember what the quote was. It's been a while ago. But one of the things they asked is if we provided snow removal. Not that they ever use it or need it, but they like to have that option available. And I'm not set up for snow removal. So I told them, you know, unfortunately, no, I'm not set up for that. I can't offer that service. And they said, okay, well, submit the bid anyway. We'll see what happens. And so, I don't know, that was probably a month ago. And I heard back from them 2 days ago, and we didn't win. But it wasn't based on price. It was actually based on the snow removal issue, which I appreciated her giving me the feedback on that. She, you know, just said, you know, we liked your proposal, but we needed somebody that could also provide the snow removal if we needed it. And since you couldn't, we went with somebody else. And I was like, okay. And that kind of really, it was kind of not nice isn't the right word. I would have loved to have gotten the HOA, but it was kind of a further signaling that I need to move in that direction. It's time for me to start getting into snow removal for myself. So that's actually, we're going to start working on that. So by the time the 2020 winter, not this coming winter, but the winter after, by the time that comes around, we'll be fully set up. My intention is I'm buying a Bradley stand-on mower. I'm going to buy one of those plow attachments that can go on a stander, and so I'll be able to use that. And by the time next year rolls around, I'll have some kind of truck or something that'll have a plow on it. Honestly, stand-on mowers can plow neighborhoods. I mean, I did it with a Toro Grandstand. I know that's a little different, but yeah, you know, put a bid in for my first HOA, got turned down, but was able to learn got some positive feedback, was able to learn something from it. So, you know, they told me to submit another bid next year. I think the head of the HOA, I think she liked me, and I think she really wanted to go with me, but, you know, because I didn't offer all the services they needed, she just felt like they couldn't go that direction. So I'm definitely going to apply again next year. Submit a bid again next year. I don't know why I'm acting like this is some application process. Yeah, I got some more stuff I want to talk about as far as the business going forward, but I'm going to leave it there because I actually have a lawn to cut. So I'll talk to you guys more later. This is Randy with Doing Cut and Trim. Have a good one.